And she could spray you.
We were in an old house, which is a little bigger than this shed here. It was just a bedroom and living room and a kitchen. And when we had that flood, the water almost tore our house apart, so we were able to get out. They came around and they looked and they said, well, the house is not livable, so they gave us a house. And my dad was already building a log house, He wanted a good, stable house for us to live in. But then when it got flooded in 48, there was about 3 feet of water there, so he said, he didn't want us to live in there if we should ever get flooded again. So he moved the house to a higher ground.
Actually, the changes started in 1948 in the flood. That's where a lot of the land was changed. That was where a lot of the, there was no more gardens because everything was flooded, and you couldn't grow anything after that because of how the land, the dirt changed. And if you try to grow vegetables, the potatoes were just that small, and the carrots were so small. There was so much, I guess, debris, junk, and there was no more raspberries or blackberries and all that. They were all gone. A lot of things changed because the children were no longer there. They were no longer in the community. We were all sent away to school.
My sister and I, Margaret, we didn't get to go to school till we were getting older in age, and they finally took us to Cooper. Took me to Cooper, took Margaret to Mission. Then all the rest, Mary and Lucy, they went to Cooper too, because that's where we all ended up at Cooper Island, so far away. I didn't like the idea because leaving our parents, everything changed. They were all by themselves, so they didn't put in the gardens, and then alcohol took over because the kids weren't home. I think it's the loneliness they found that we all left them.
I went to St. Mary's, and I didn't complete my years of school because you were only allowed to go to school until you were about 16, and that's it. That's all the education you could get. But coming from a reserve that there wasn't very many people there, my mom told me when she was carrying my sister Mary, I'm going to call for you when I need you, she said, because there was nobody to look after the younger generation. And she didn't have no family there, so she called for me. So after she called for me, and I didn't want to go back to school because I had my brother to look after. My brother Pat was, he was a small child. He was 2 years old at that time, but he was the size of a 6-month-old child. And for my mom to raise like 2 babies, that was kind of a little difficult, so I took on the chore of looking at my brother Pat.
Beginning of August, he sent